I'm joined by Kyle Balgames. Welcome, Kyle.
How are you?
Raja Suleiman with Orzhov.
Max McVitie.
Congratulations, Brian DeMars.
Zach Allen. I wouldn't be here without these guys, though. So.
And the champion of Proto Countertalk here, Relax.
All right, welcome to Making Magic Happen, presented by RW Hobbies and Games in Livonia, Michigan. I'm Zach, today joined by my teammate,
Raja.
And today we're going to be playing some more Standard for everybody, testing out Zendikar Rising before it comes out. Kind of the idea here is we want to give everybody an idea of what cards are good. We want people to be able to craft the decks they actually want to play on Arena before it comes out. We don't want you wasting wild cards. I think that's really important in that economy especially.
For sure.
And we just kind of want to get an idea of what are the best cards in Standard. What should we be looking at to brew with, and what synergies are actually good. Today I have brought white-black Clerics. I've seen an Abzan list floating around that I believe was from Ross Merriam. And Conclave Mentor is a very, very powerful card. It would be very, very good in this deck, but I didn't want to stretch the mana for it. I think every card in the deck was white and black with the exception of exactly Conclave Mentor, so I think it makes sense to just play white-black, get a cleaner mana base, make sure I can cast my spells. I am playing two of the flip lands. I have an Ameria's Call as kind of my 7-drop finisher that's mostly just an untapped white source, and a Sageri's Shelter to protect some of my creatures because this is a mass synergy deck where I just want to get as many things in play as possible. Just protecting my thing from a removal spell or letting it block something and protect it. All that stuff seems pretty good to me. My two 1-drops are Speaker of the Heavens, which is a 1-mana 1/1 with Vigilance and Lifelink, and I can tap it to create a 4/4 white angel if I'm at 27 or more life.
Okay.
So I need to gain life, but once I get life, like once I've gained a bunch of life, I can just start making 4/4s, which is pretty insane.
Agreed.
And I have Archfiend's Vessel, which is a 1-mana 1/1 with Lifelink. Both of these are Clerics, for the record. And when Archfiend's Vessel enters the battlefield, if it entered from my graveyard, I exile it instead and put a 5/5 Black Demon creature token with flying in play. And I have multiple ways to bring it back from the graveyard. Call of the Death Dweller and Aura Skyclave Hierophant to both do it. I've got Luminarch Aspirant, which is a 2-mana 1/1, but it says at the beginning of combat I can put a +1/+1 counter on target creature I control. So that's going to let me pump up my 1-mana lifelink creatures and get them big enough to start rumbling and start gaining me a bunch of life so I can get up past that threshold.
Yeah, I think that card's very good.
Yep.
I think, like, just on its own rate, like a 2-mana, it's going to be a 2/2, like, if nothing else is going on, it's a 2-mana 2/2 that goes a 3/3, then a 4/4. That'd be a decent card on its own. The fact that it can give haste damage, in addition to, like, other Q synergies with, like, +1/+1 counters, making life creatures bigger, I think that card's actually really strong.
Yeah, I agree. I've got Cleric of Life's Bond, which is kind of the white-black payoff, I guess you'd say. It says whenever another Cleric enters the battlefield under your control, I gain 1 life, and whenever I gain life for the first time each turn, I can put a +1/+1 counter on it. So this thing's going to grow really fast and gain me more life. And I've got Daxos Blessed by the Sun, which is not a Cleric and double white, so kind of hard to cast, but it's a really good life gain payoff. It says whenever another creature you control enters the battlefield or dies, I gain 1 life, so I'll be gaining a lot of life from it. And then the other life gain payoff we have in this deck is Veto, Thorn of the Dusk Rose. It's a 3-mana 1/3 Vampire Cleric, but it says whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. And then I can pay 3 and double black to give creatures I control lifelink until end of turn. So I can do a ton of damage to you just by gaining life, which is something that this deck is going to be very good at.
Yeah, it looks like it.
And then Heliod's the other life gain payoff. It says it's 3-mana 5/5, but it's not a creature unless I have 5 white pips in play. But it says whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature or enchantment you control. So again, I'm going to just be using the lifelink creatures to pump themselves up. All the creatures in play, like, it's every time you gain life too. So I can gain life by playing something with Daxos, make it bigger with a Cleric entering, another life gain trigger. If I have both of these in play and play a creature, I get 2 +1/+1 counters, which just adds up really fast. I've got Taborax Hope's Demise. It's a 3-mana 2/2 flying. It says Taborax Hope's Demise has lifelink as long as it has 5 or more +1/+1 counters on it. So this is the spot I want to be dumping most of the +1/+1 counters. It says whenever another non-token creature you control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Tabaraks. If that creature was a cleric, you may draw a card. If you do, you lose 1 life. So basically, if this thing's in play, they have to kill it, or I'm just going to be like they can't kill other stuff. They need to be killing this, and then it's going to let me, I draw a card when it dies, but it's going to let me. Oh no, I don't draw a card when this one dies, but they need to kill this, but they can't kill anything else essentially. Otherwise, I'll start gaining. I'll just draw a bunch of cards.
Yep.
But it becomes a giant lifelinking flyer by just dumping counters on it, which is insane for 3 mana.
Yeah.
I've got Basri's Acolyte is sort of the worst cleric in the deck, but it synergizes pretty well. It's just a 4 mana 2/3 with 2 white pips, which is special for Heliod. Good at turning it on, but also 2/3 with lifelink, and it says when it enters the battlefield, I can put a +1/+1 counter on 2 other creatures. So just another way to make the rest of my team big. And then I have Aura Skyclave Hierophant. It's a 4 mana 3/3 with lifelink. And it says whenever Aura or another cleric you control dies, return target cleric card with converted mana cost from your graveyard to the with lesser converted mana cost from your graveyard to the battlefield. So basically, I want to be using it to bring back my Archfiend's Vessel and my Speaker of the Heavens. And it's really nice that both of these are really good to bring back, because early I can just gain a little bit of life, trade them off, and then bring them back later. I can start making 4/4s, or this comes back as a 5/5 flyer. So really resilient deck. We'll see how it goes. I don't know if this is actually good or not, but it's definitely interesting.
Yeah, this is my first time seeing your deck. But I'm thinking a card, and like I get that we're trying to push all the new cards and new synergies to the max. But I think a card that actually might have played really nicely into your deck was Lurrus.
Sure.
You have this is obviously a combo with Lurrus, but you have a nice, 5 different cards you can get back with Lurrus.
Yep.
It also provides 2 white pips for Heliod and Daxos, whereas maybe this doesn't. So that might be, or maybe one of these cards might be worse than Lurrus. Probably is, to be fair, but I do want to see how good those cards are in this deck.
Sure. I mean,
and it's got lifelink too, so it's also synergy with all the lifelink effects.
I mean, I agree. I think Lurrus is good. I do have 2 Call the Death Dwellers in here.
Okay.
Which could easily be cut for Lurrus's. I would not be shocked if Lurrus is just better.
I think it would be.
But Call the Death Dweller is a pseudo cleric in this deck, so it's worth looking at. I could see Lurrus being better with it. I mean, that's something we're gonna have to look at going forward.
Right. I agree.
All right, what do you got here?
So I'm playing Sultai. I love Sultai. We're trying to see how much, this deck was probably the last good deck in the standard format before rotation.
Yeah, I think before you actually get into it, I think just a note on your deck. We're going to be running decks against Sultai and Team Adventures a lot because we think they're the 2 best decks left over from last standard by quite a bit. And I think it's really important to just see, use those as a gauge of power level for other decks.
For sure. Yeah, it's like the litmus test of the format.
Yep.
So I built mine around Jolrael because I think this card's very good, and I think the deck already does a lot of the things that makes Jolrael good without trying. Namely, Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath, curves perfectly into it, triggers it. You want to be playing this card anyway. And then we have Landward Visionary as another good follow-up to Jolrael. Triggers it, lets us cast some other spells later in the game, which is a good body on its own. Agonizer Remorse is taking the place of Thought Erasure. And with Uro being the best card in the format, I'm actually completely okay with that. I think it actually might have been better than Thought Erasure.
Yep.
We have our core of 3 removal spells in the form of Bloodchief's Thirst, which is a new card from Zendikar Rising, Heartless Act, and Murderous Rider. And then we also are Into the Royal got reprinted. This card is just kind of a nice utility card. I'm playing as a 1/of. It says draw a card on it, which works well with Jolrael. We have 2 of our cycling cards. Boon of the Wishgiver kind of replaces the Hydro Crisis as a way to draw cards in the late game, but it's still good early. Works well with Jolrael. Same thing with Shark Typhoon. Atris is just a very good card in a vacuum that I like a lot, and it works well with Uro. Dumps cards in our graveyard, puts a body in play with Menace, Bard's card advantage, good target for Into the Royal. If you want to target something of your own, your opponent will give you a good target. Jace is a new card from the new set. I want to see how good this card is. I think it's pretty good. It says draw a card on it, so it can't be too bad in this Jolrael deck. Nice way to use our mana late. Good early on turn 3 to smooth out our draws. I think it's a good card. I don't really like Teferi that much. I'm kind of playing it only as a concession to work well Jolrael and Uro. Otherwise, I don't think the card's very good in a vacuum. People seem really high on this card. I've always been pretty low on it. What do you think about it, Zach?
I'm mostly with you. The fact that it doesn't actually provide card advantage is pretty bad. I have seen the -3 be good at times, but it's not killing a creature. It's just so
delaying a problem.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think it's interesting, but not as good as people say it is, for sure.
Right. Then we got some fun-ofs in the form of Ashiok Nightmare Reuse and Garrett Cursed Huntsman. Just some quality planeswalkers. I want to see if they got better with Nissa rotating out. And then we have our top end, which is Ugin the Spirit Dragon. just when you're ramping with Uro and Landward Visionary, you want to have something big to do at the top of the curve.
Sure.
Answers a lot of problem permanents. A lot of decks can't go over the top of this. It just ends the game.
Yep.
And then we have 2 new lands from Zendikar Rising. Clear Out a Pathway is just a blue-black land that can be whatever you want it to be. And then Seagate Restoration is pretty cool because it's basically an island that costs you life in a deck that doesn't really play too many utility lands.
Sure.
But it has this nice tap in. If you're flooding, you can pay 7 mana, draw X cards where X is the number of cards in your hand plus 1. That will trigger Joriel. It'll give you a maximum hand size of whatever you want it to be, and then it'll give you a nice way to utilize Joriel's activated ability to make all your guys really big.
Sure.
But yeah, that's pretty much the deck.
All right, let's shuffle up in battle.
Yep.
All right, we're back here for game 1. Raja, even or odd?
I'll take even.
Odd.
It's always odd.
Nice. All right. I have I got a couple set of lands here. No 1-drop, which is annoying, but this is pseudo 1-drop, so I think I'm gonna keep.
Yeah, I have a blue and a black land with 2 black spells, but no green mana and 3 green spells, so I think I have to mulligan. Yeah, I'm gonna mulligan. Alright, this hand's much better. I will bottom this one.
All right. I'm going to lead us off with a Temple of Silence, Scry. Not really looking for this at the moment. I think that's an easy bottom. I got enough lands.
Alright. I will see your Temple of Silence with a Temple of Melody. Keep going.
Draw. I'm going to play a Bright Climb Pathway as white. And then play Luminarch Aspirant. Go to combat, put a counter on it, and pass.
Alright. I'm going to play an island and cast a Joriel. Good.
Alright. We'll play a Swamp for turn. Play a Tabarax.
Okay.
Combat. I'm gonna go to combat. Put a counter on Tabarax.
Yep.
And I could go here to get more damage in, because there's no way you're gonna block with Jolriel here. But 2 and 3 are pretty similar, and I'd rather start getting this big. You also can't Heartless Act it, so it's not easy. It's not super easy for you to remove it, and you can't Blood Chief's Thirst it next turn. So there's not that many ways you actually have to remove it in your deck that I can think of. So I think it's safer to put them here. This could get Blood Chief's Thirsted. You might have killed it last turn, but I think that's better. I'm going to attack for 2.
Alright, I'm 18.
Go ahead.
Okay, I will play a Clear Out Pathway and have it come in as the Murkwater side. And I'm going to put an Uro into play. So we're going to gain 3 life. It's 21. Oh, you're going to need multiple dice today, aren't you?
I'm going to need them.
And then I'm going to put this temple to play. Trigger. And we will put that on bottom. And I will pass to you.
I'm going to draw for turn. Ooh, that's interesting. I'm going to play a Fabled Passage, crack it for Plains. I've already got 2 black in this deck, and I never need more than 2, so having white, once you got 2 black sources, you can just keep getting Plains.
Makes sense.
I do have a Maria's Call in my deck, so I do want more white as I get towards 7 mana.
Sure. Are you playing Murder Strider?
No Murder Strider.
Okay.
Yeah, no Murder Strider. Got Skyclave Apparition instead, but it's in the board.
Good answer to Uro.
I think it's better than Murderous Rider for this deck specifically.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think my turn's pretty set here. I'm just gonna play both of these. And then I am going to go to combat and put a counter on Tabarex again.
Okay.
And then bash for 3.
No blocks. That's 4, right?
Or 4, yeah, I'm sorry. And then it's your turn.
You have 2 cards left?
2 cards.
Alright, I will grab my field passage. I'll play Landward Visionary.
Sure.
Draw a card, trigger. And then I will play an Agonizing Remorse.
I have a Veto and a Sagiri Shelter.
Read this card again. Whenever you gain life, I'll lose that much life. I think I'll take this one.
Okay.
I'm at 17. Zach's pretty unlikely to get Devotion next turn for his Heliod. And I think we want to start getting kind of aggressive here. So I will attack for 2.
Okay. I'm going to block with my Archfiend's Vessel. Damage.
Oh, this draws you cards?
Yep.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's probably not good then.
Alright, so I gain a life. I'll put a counter here. Go up to 21.
Yep.
And then this says, whenever another non-token creature you control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Tabarex. If that creature was a cleric, you may draw a card. If you do, you lose 1 life. So I'll put another counter on it, draw a card, and lose the 1 life. Okay.
Good. Yeah, if I had known you were drawing a card, I should have probably chosen to attack first and then remorse you, so that I can get 1 more card look.
Sure.
But it's alright.
You know I have a Sideboarding.
Growing pains for the new format.
Draw for turn. Alright. I am going to Fabled Passage again. I guess I can get a swamp here. I've already got 3 white. It doesn't really matter at this point. My mana's good. I drew another Archfiend's Vessel. Put that in play. I'm going to go to combat. Put a counter here.
Yep.
Bash for 7 lifelink.
I'm at 10.
I go to 27. And then it's your turn.
I'll play an Atris.
Sure.
Trigger.
Yep. Alright, so these are the 3 things we're looking at. these two aren't very good, so I think I'm going to try and tempt him with this and trick him into taking these two. So we'll do that.
Okay. I will take these two.
So Raja got a Zagoth Triome and a Blood Chief's Thirst off of that.
Yep.
Not very good here. They're alright. But mostly don't do anything.
I'm gonna play a Jace.
Sure.
And I know that I can definitely have him die here, but I think it's important to get another Joliel trigger, keep the board going. So I'm gonna just 0 Jace.
Sure.
And so he's gonna survive, and I'm gonna get a cat. So there's an argument to not attacking Zimbat, make it so that he can't trigger his creature again. So you can put a counter here. Oh no, we want to wait till he's in combat.
Oh, I'm
so that
sorry. I should have got a counter. This should be at 6, or something should have got another counter because that doesn't matter. I missed it.
All right.
I did miss a counter though when I gained life here with the life link.
Sure. Yeah, so I think
Which actually matters a lot.
I think
here.
attacking here is bad because you will be able to get multiple counters on your thing and then just kill me.
Mhm.
So I think I need to just not attack for a turn and try to see if we can do something better next turn. Good. I guess. Yeah, no. Yeah.
Draw. Ooh, does that kill you?
Probably.
Oh man, I think I'm 1 point. No wait. Yeah, I am 1 point short, and I missed the trigger here.
Perfect. I need every advantage I can get.
That's unfortunate. All right. I guess I should have got a planes here too because of this. I'm gonna play a Daxos.
Okay.
Oh, another creature you control enters the battlefield or dies. I thought he triggered himself. Guess not.
No, he doesn't.
Alright, so then I was still going to be 1 point short no matter what.
Okay.
I'm going to go to combat.
Yep.
How many cards do you have in your hand?
4.
4?
And you know about Uro.
Yeah, so it's
I
pretty...
guess you know about this one too.
It's pretty unlikely that you'll be able to do anything crazy with Jolriel and like get a lethal swing, so I'm just going to have so much life. I think what I want to do is... I'm actually 1 pip away from turning on Heliod too.
Yep.
I think I'm going to put the counter on my Archfiend's Vessel.
Okay.
Go to combat. Attack you with both of these.
So if this dies, you're gonna draw a card, put a counter on this. The lifelink will make it so that you're putting another counter on this. This will trigger, put a counter on whatever. All of them are for whatever, except for this guy's. Question is, does that matter anymore? I'm not sure it does. I don't think there's a card that you're drawing here that I'm too scared of. So I will... So you're going to gain 7, 9 to 36. Okay. You have 2 blockers. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I will block here.
Okay. So you're gonna take 7. You go to 3.
Yep.
I'm gonna gain 9. I only get 1 instance of life gain from lifelink happening. Just whenever you gain life, lifelink all happens at the same time.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put the counter here.
Yeah, so you're gonna get trigger this, trigger that, and which will trigger this again.
Yep. So then I get another counter here,
Mm-hmm.
and I get to draw a card and lose a life.
Yep.
'Cause this is gonna die.
I understand, but you have to choose your trigger before you draw your card. So like you'll gain the life, and this will die,
Yep.
and this will trigger. So you have to choose where to put the counter from this. You have to target something, right? It's a target effect.
Oh.
So you have to target before you just see your card,
All
basically.
right. Well, I'm gonna put the counter here.
Okay. Well, you already saw your card, but
Doesn't. I mean,
yeah, it's fine.
this dies. Then this gets the other counter, and then this triggers again from dying, right? No. I should get a thing from the lifelink, a thing from one from when this dies, and then this should get another counter. So I should end up with 3 other counters. They all should have gotten 1 counter, and I should have gained 9, right?
So this guy has 1 counter, and then there's the lifelink counter, or there's like the life trigger from Heliod, and then there's the life gain, and there's another. So you have 2 more counters floating.
I put 1 here and 1 here.
Okay.
And then this guy got 1 from the
his
Cleric
ability.
dying, and then I draw off the Cleric dying.
Correct.
Okay.
And then you gained 9 but lost 1, so you're at.
No, I gain.
Then you gain that one back.
I gain it back, yeah. So I
Okay.
just gain 9.
You gain 9.
So you're at 3. I'm at 36.
Yep.
It's your turn.
All right. I think I know what I need to find here. Well, there's a couple of things I can find, but we'll see what happens. Draw. Okay. Oh, that's gonna be enough. Alright. I'm not sure I have an out here.
This Tabarix card got out of control quick.
Yeah, it did. I think we need to. I don't think I can afford to scry because I need all my mana to try to interact. I think I need to try to hit either a discard spell or an Ugin. So yeah, I'll go for that.
Okay.
I'm just assuming it's already dead, but I might not. Oh, there's Ugin.
Oh my gosh.
Well, so that's gonna make another cat.
That's gonna matter a lot.
Yep. So you can. Is attacking advantageous at all for me? Like, do you just gain more life than you lose? Because.
You should attack. Get in here.
Well, I think it's fine though because you don't have any lifelink creatures. You can give one of your guys lifelink, but it's only a 3/3. I think you take more damage than that. No, I'm not gonna mess around. Oh no, I actually want them to die. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I'll send these guys.
All right.
So I got 6 cards in my hand. You have to be careful. You totally don't know about this Ugin.
I mean, I know about the Ugin because of Jace. It reveals it. So I think I'm just gonna double block Atris.
Okay. Well, I'll assign damage there.
Alright. So I'm taking 6 total and drawing a card.
You're taking 5 total.
Yeah, 6 from this.
But you're gonna gain a life from dying.
Oh, sure. So I'm gonna take 5 total.
Yep.
Oh, this doesn't die.
That doesn't die.
So I go to 11. I draw a card.
Yeah, maybe letting you draw a card is also bad. I
think so.
keep forgetting about this card's effect. It's alright. I'll figure it out eventually. So we have 2 blue, 3 blue.
I guess when I gain a
3
life from
black.
dying, I can put another counter here. Not that it matters, because I'm losing everything to Ugin anyway, but here we are.
I don't think I need another green. So 2. This is gonna go away. So 3 green. Probably for Earl purposes I need more green. Yeah, that's fine. And then I will play Earl.
Uro?
No, I'm playing Ugin.
Ugh.
And then I'll -3.
Yup. This card's so fun. I'm glad it's in standard.
Oh yeah, Ugin?
Yeah.
Yeah, good times. Go ahead.
We good?
Yep.
You're at 3.
Yeah, can you burn me out?
No.
Good.
It's super annoying too because like your Ugin didn't have to minus enough, so I just have to play into another sweeper on board, and none of my stuff is expensive.
I mean, this is a litmus test for the format, though. Like, you need to be able to have decks that can
Oh, I know.
can fight
Sitting here
through
with
an
this
Ugin.
stupid Sagiri Shelter in my hand.
I mean, it stopped me from kicking this, right? Like,
It did do that. Doesn't work against Ugin though. Oh boy.
At least there's not a Earl coming back in the graveyard next turn. Wherever he is. Somewhere.
Did you play an Uro already?
Yeah, where is he? Oh, there he is. Yeah,
Oh. So at least it's not coming back next turn?
yeah, that's sarcasm.
Oh, I know. Feels like I have very slim margins with this deck, as it turns out. I need Veto, dude. It's my only way. Where are you, Veto?
Big V?
Big V. Alright, I think the best thing I can do is play this. And then I'm just gonna play the Sideboarding Shelter tapped at this point.
Oh, that sounds like some angels coming down soon. Angels in the outfield.
Go ahead.
That's my read.
I actually just want the mana, I don't have that card.
That's what they all say, Zach. So this lets you bring back a Cleric that costs less than this card.
Mm-hmm.
Which in this case could be the Archfiend or the 2-drop, which probably should be the Archfiend. Alright, so I'll start by shooting this.
Alright. I'll bring back an Archfiend, get a 5/5.
Okay. I will kill it. I'm gonna put Joriel into play, and then bring back Uro. I don't think anything else matters. Exile these 5. I go to 6. Gain 3. Draw a card. Get a 2/2.
Dude, every time we play against Uro, it's just like, what is this? Why?
Good.
Yeah, are you like tapping this one and this one?
Yeah, I replaced this one with
Oh, you
this.
replaced it? Okay.
Yeah.
As I said, you're not cheating extra lands out there. I saw you
No.
put it over top of it earlier.
I did, and I realized it was going to be kind of shady, so I just
Yeah,
moved
it was
out.
very shady.
It wasn't shady. I fixed it.
Alright, I don't think I can win anymore. I'm just gonna pack it in. I have flooded out. I don't know my angel thing. I can play these, which is okay, but it doesn't really get me there.
Yep.
I needed a point of burn. There's actually a chance there's like a land that can like deal 4 to you. That might be better. Dude, this Uro card is
This is a pretty sick hit off that chase, so it was kind of brutal. I even called it too. I'm like, I have 2 outs.
Yep.
This is one of them.
Uro, man. I don't even know that card. We're back here post board. I'm cutting. I'm bringing in 3 Skyclave apparitions from the sideboard. You just have some really important permanents for me to deal with. Joriel is really good, but mostly Uro. Uro is just a disaster for me.
Yeah.
I can beat it, kind of, but I don't have a good way to kill it outside of this. And then when it starts attacking, I'm just never gonna come back.
Right.
It's not even the life. It's just like it just gets you closer and closer to Ugin, which I just cannot beat. And then I'm bringing in 3 Agonizing Remorse as, again, another way to deal with Uro, but also can take out a key removal spell from your hand or hit the Ugin that I'm concerned about.
Right.
And the same thing with the Duresses. The more interesting thing, like, I think these cards are easy to bring in. The more interesting thing is what you cut in this deck, because it is a very, like, mass synergy deck, and I kind of need the pieces to work together.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually am a little concerned I'm bringing in too many things. But I'm trimming 2 legendaries. I'm just shaving them. I had 3 copies of each, so I think going down to 2 is okay. I'm cutting my Call to Death Dwellers because you had a lot of effects that exiled, or at least ones I cared about, with Agonizing Remorse and Ugin. You do have some things that kill, but not enough that I still want these in. I'm cutting a Sideboarding Shelter in favor of the Agonizing Remorses. It's my pseudo 26th land in the deck. I think I can go down to 25 fairly easily, especially because I'm cutting 2 of my 4 drops.
Sure.
I'm cutting a Basri's Acolyte because I think it's one of the weakest cards in the deck. And then I lost 3 of the 5 ways to bring back Archfiend's Vessels, so I'm cutting 2 of them. Although just having a 1/1 lifelink is fine in this deck, it's not spectacular against you, so I think these 2 are an easy cut.
Okay. Yeah, for me, I am boarding in my anti-creature creatures. We have Elder Gargaroth, Blue Canos, and Scavenging Ooze. I'm sure you guys have seen these cards. They're very good against decks that are trying to beat down in different ways. Gaining life, removal, yeah, just trying to control the board. I bring in the 4th Murderous Rider just because that effect is good in these matchups. Extinction of that can get Zach pretty good, especially because the exile part of it can come up against some of his recursive threats.
Yep.
The ones that draw a card, the one that brings back Clerics that cost less. And then just 2 more removal spells to just bolster our removal suite. Boarding out some of the cards that are more grindy that I don't really necessarily need. Atris, 4 Planeswalkers that mostly just draw cards, and Ashiok could probably stay in because it makes creatures, but it just costs a lot of mana. I want to have a leaner deck. Boarding out 2 Agonizing Remorse just because I'm going to be on the draw, and discard spells kind of get mopey against his deck because he plays to the board pretty quickly. And then I'm trimming on Jolriel because I cut a lot of the cards that read draw card. And then I'm cutting Shark Typhoon because it's kind of slow and not really going to get there. So
Sure. Alright, let's battle.
let's do it.
I think I keep this hand. I would say it's not very good, but I've got all my colors. I've got early plays and a payoff, so I do think it's a keep, but it's a pretty medium hand at best.
Okay, my hand's alright. It's a little land light, but I have a Temple, playing 28 lands. I'm on the draw, so I think I should be fine.
Okay. I'm going to play a Brightkeim Pathway as a Grimclimb Pathway. And then Archfiend's Vessel, go.
I'll play my Temple, put that on the bottom, pass.
I'm going to play a Plains, play a Cleric of Life's Bond, attack you for 1. I'm going to gain 1, and then whenever I gain life for the first time each turn, this gets a counter on it. It's your turn.
Right. Play a Field Passage and a Blood Chief's Thirst on your 2-drop. Good.
Play a Tabrax, attack you for 1.
18.
I go to 22, and then it's your turn.
Okay, I'll get an island. I'll play Pathway, keep her on this side, and play an Uro, trigger, draw, lands play, gain 3 life, pass turn.
Alright, I'm going to scry.
Yep.
I think that one's okay. I'll leave it. Play a Speaker of the Heavens. Bash for 3.
I'm at 18.
I am up to 23. We're getting there. Go ahead.
Okay, I will play Temple of Malady, Scry. This card's fine. Yeah, we'll keep it. And I'll cast an Extinction Event.
Alright, great.
Name odd. Go ahead.
I'm going to play a Veto. And then Scry. I guess that's good enough, sure. Go ahead. At least lets me have an okay turn next turn.
Alright. I'm gonna cast an Agonizing Remorse.
I have a Skyclave Apparition in hand.
I will take it. I'm at 17. Good.
I'm going to cast my Luminarch Aspirant.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Go to combat.
I just don't see you winning this game through having a big creature, so that's fine. Yep.
Alright, I'm going to put a counter on Veto.
Alright, I'm gonna eliminate him.
Go ahead.
Alright, this is the interesting part of the game where I put an Uro into play. And, you know, it's so fascinating. It's so, you know, different, right?
Yeah.
Good.
Alright, I'm going to draw a card. I'm going to duress you.
Would you like an Ugin or a Garrick?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm done. This is like, this is so frustrating because this deck is so cool, and it's doing a lot of sweet stuff that is like fun for Magic.
Uro.
Yeah, and you just play an Uro, and it's just like, what the heck am I supposed to do about
To be
it?
fair, not to, because I completely agree with what you're saying. Not to discount what you're saying. If I don't have Uro play this game, like I'm at 20, and like I still have all this left. Like Extinction Event did all the work here, but Uro is a card that like I don't have to care about anything else. I don't have to care about closing the game out because I have Uro in my deck. Like it just doesn't matter.
I know. It's ridiculous. Uro plus removal spells is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, because I would have a chance at, like, grinding through your stuff. Like, I would have a chance, if you just had a ton of removal spells that kill my stuff, I could leave in my Call of the Death Dwellers, I could leave in my things that help me grind, and I would have a chance. It's probably not the correct game to play, but I could play through that. The fact that you have Uro just makes that just not even an option.
Yeah.
Alright, let's try another game.
I think I'm gonna mulligan. I think this matchup feels good enough to where I shouldn't be keeping light hands to just like lose if I just whiff. So yeah, I'm gonna ship this.
Are you on the play here soon?
I'm on the play. Well,
Perfect.
or I'm on the draw, right? Or
You
it doesn't
can
really
be on the
matter. I really don't care.
This hand's mana's really awkward, which is great. Love when I have awkward mana in my two-color deck. I think I have a really... This matchup feels really bad for me. And I think this is actually a way to win, if I can make this happen. Which is not clear that I can, but it is a way to win if I can. And this sets me up to do it really well. It actually gets me there. This kind of like insulates. I think this hand is a keep despite the mana being really awkward. And I just kind of really need to hope I draw an untapped land on turn 1 here.
Okay. This hand is better, and I will bottom this one. Am I the player to draw?
Go.
Go.
Perfect. That wasn't untapped mana. Go ahead.
I'll play Temple. I'll keep that.
Good.
Yep.
I'm going to draw... Agonizing Remorse. I'm going to take the Uro. At 19. Go ahead. You leave him up?
Yep. I'll play my island, pass.
Draw. Scry. Bottom that. Agonizing Remorse. Take the Extinction Event. Here you go.
Play my swap, good.
Play both of those. Your turn.
Yeah, I guess I'll kill one. 18. Play this as an island, or the front side I should say. And you're at 18. You have 4 cards left?
4 cards.
This card feels kind of irrelevant right now, because Zach at least has to present a removal spell from my Rotos Rider to even attack. And he definitely can't gain that much life in one turn. There's a chance he's got like better threats in his hand, so I think I'm just gonna play this and pass.
I'm gonna play Tabrax. Here you go.
We saw that card get out of hand. It makes it so that all my rule spells need to go at it. So I think I'm gonna just get rid of it now. And then I will attack you.
Okay. 16.
Good.
Play Tabrax, take you for 1.
19.
Good.
I will kill it again. Attack.
Yep. 15.
21. Good.
Luminarch Aspirant. Put a counter here and attack you for 2.
19.
Good.
What I scribed to the bottom was land. Yep. Three blue, 3 black. Play a Landward Visionary.
Yep.
And I'll attack.
Okay, no blocks. Back to 13.
And at 21.
Good.
Yep, good.
Play Plains. Dexos.
Or spawn. I'll Mirror's Rider this. 19.
Dexos is good.
Yeah.
We'll play another one. Go to 14. Go to combat. Put a counter on this.
Yep.
Take you for 3.
I'll take it.
At 17. Here you go.
I think we're going to take a turn off to just draw 4.
Okay.
3, 4. I'm going to play Temple of Malady. Scry.
Oh my god, I can't beat a draw 4. So ridiculous.
Yeah, this one's pretty good. I'll keep it.
Good.
Yep.
Draw. You're 19.
I'm at 19.
You're 19.
19.
Have I gotten rid? I have not gotten rid of a Nugan, right? So you still have
no,
2.
you got rid of Uro, not
Yep.
Nugan.
So you still have presumably 2 in your deck.
2
Cards in hand.
We're up to 4.
4, and you can play a land plus a Nugan next turn. Perfect.
Well, technically, if I had a Nugan, I can cast off the Visionary.
Oh, well, then you could just cast a Nugan.
Correct.
Can I ever beat a Nugan? If I don't play any of these, is my follow-up good enough to beat a Nugan? It's not. Okay, so I have to just play like you don't have Ugin. It's the only way I can win this game. And if you don't have a Ugin, you don't have a sweeper, let's say you drew like an Uro and some removal spells. Probably not beating that either. But if I was beating it, it probably starts with, make that 5 and then you can't block. Yeah, I think I gotta do it this way. Play a Basri's Acolyte. I'll put a counter on this and this, and then go to combat, put another counter here, And attack you for 5.
I will block.
Okay.
So I gain 2.
I'm at 22. If you were a red deck right now, I'd feel really good about this. You are at 21?
Yep.
Perfect. Go ahead.
So unfortunately for Zach, we do have the Ugin. But you also, the assessment of removal spells plus Uro is also true. So you,
Alright, we're good here. I can't win.
it just feels like the deck is sweet, cool synergies. You know, some like cards are like good and limited, but like are good if you build your deck around it.
Yep.
But they're just running smacked into like Uro. It just doesn't matter. So.
Yep. So, post-match analysis. I need to be able to win the game in a way that isn't susceptible to getting my board swept up by Ugin, and can attack through an Uro, or deal damage through an Uro. I think that's going to be a litmus test of the format. We know that deck is good. The deck was great last format. Those cards are some of the best cards in the format. I need to build my deck with that thought in mind, and Clerics just doesn't do that at all.
Right.
Clerics has nothing it's doing that beats Ugin at all. There was just not, like, I couldn't think of a spell in my deck. Like, I can maybe make you discard the Ugin.
Yeah. Which you tried. You cast 2 discard spells.
I cast 2 discard spells, but discard does not work against Uro.
Right.
No matter, like, Agonizer Remorse is okay, but it doesn't work against Uro. Like, I discard and then you, like, if I agonize, I even agonize Remorse to your Uro. I even did that. And then it's still just like 2 turns later, like a few turns later, you just cast some more draw spells and then you have all the things that beat me. Right? And I can't discard the top of your deck and I can't stop you from playing Ugin. So maybe I can play like a Necromentia effect and take it out of your deck, but I think that's just so bad that I just shouldn't even be trying to do that.
Yeah, because it also makes me zombies if I have it in my hand. And you're playing like 2 mana 1/2s and, or 2/2s and like 1/1s. Like it's still not that great for you.
I think the conclusion here is that Clerics is really sweet. It's doing something really cool.
Yeah.
But its finish isn't quick enough, and the cards aren't powerful enough on their own.
Sure.
I have like my 1-drops are sweet, and it's doing a lot of sweet stuff. But I need like a combo finish. I need something like maybe like putting like a Nethroi Apex of Dex in here, or Apex of Death in here, where I can return a bunch of stuff, or like an Eerie Ultimatum, something that goes over the top and is powerful, because it feels like that's where I need to be in Standard nowadays. And I'm not really getting you dead. I'm getting a lot of life, and that just doesn't matter against Uro at all. It doesn't matter.
Well, so like me and Zach discussed a deck that I'm actually trying to work on right now, which is like a black-white sacrifice deck.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that the deck has going for it is it can win outside of combat, so it can ignore the Uro aspect.
Okay.
And then it has all their creatures kind of come back on their own, like with Luminous Broodmoth and Nightmare Shepherd.
Sure.
So like you don't have to like use other cards to bring the cards back. The threats are also the cards that come back.
Mm-hmm.
I think that might be one way to attack like creature decks, but it still gets swept up by Ugin really well. So I don't really know how. It's just like you're just in too much of a bind if you're trying to play to the board in this format.
I agree with you. I think realistically what this is showing us is like all these decks that are trying to play the board that are doing sweet stuff. Like this deck, essentially, is just not good enough in this format. I need something better than what I'm doing.
I think the answer, if you're trying to kill people and play to the board, is kill them fast, which means you probably want to be playing Embercleave. Embercleave will just kill them.
Okay, so that's what I was thinking. Like, from just playing these games against a deck like that, it really does feel to me like if I want to be playing a creature deck that attacks, I should be playing Winota and Embercleave.
Yeah.
We mentioned them as just the 2 best, like, 2 of the better cards in Standard surviving.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we need to look.
For sure.
And then past that, it's like Team Adventures looked really good. It has a combo kill, but can actually grind with you. Can play really good against aggressive decks. Like another thing about this deck is I don't know how I'm ever beating Bone Crusher Giants. Like how am I gonna beat that?
Yeah, you probably aren't.
And just Brazen Barrow and Tabarax because it doesn't have an ETB feels really bad. Also, Tabarax is really sweet, but it's just like why doesn't it draw a card when it dies?
Because like Midnight Reaper draws off itself, right?
Yeah, why doesn't Tabarax draw a card when it dies? Like you have Uro. Uro says 85 keywords, and my 3-drop can't draw a card when it dies. It just draws a card when it sneezes, and when like you throw it over to the side, and it's like draw 6. Like what happened?
On my side, there's not much to say. We said this early on. This was the deck that we're going to expect to be one of the better ones. Litmus test for the format. One thing I did notice was that Boon of the Wishaver felt really good, and the opportunity cost of playing that card is super low, especially in a Jolgal deck. Like a 1-mana Cycler that's colorless in a Jolgal deck is already fine. And then like we saw that game, I was like, Zach had played a couple of discard spells. He was actually getting me low on cards, and I just drew the Boon, drew 4 cards, found my removal spells, found Uro, found a land to cast Ugin, found the Ugin itself. Like That actually might be like one of the best ways to draw cards in this format going forward.
Yeah, I think I agree. I will say that just a deck like this is playing the board and doing cute stuff against a format that has Extinction Event, Shatter the Sky, Ugin, Uro, just not where you want to be. So I think if I'm playing any deck that has creatures, it's going to have Embercleave going forward, and all my other decks I think are going to have a plan to beat stuff like that, whether it be maybe like big Zenith Flares out of a cycling deck, or Team Adventures with like a fling on a Beanstalk Giant, or like Terror of the Peaks kills, all that stuff. I think I'm going to start looking there, like ways to win outside of combat, because Uro plus removal spells just makes combat not reasonable. You just can't do it. So it's just something we should rule out unless we're doing combat in a very broken way, which is basically just Embercleave and Winota in this format.
Sure. Well, instead of building decks, maybe we should build a time machine and go back to when they did their last ban announcement and tell them to ban Uro too.
Yeah, we could do that. All right. Well, thanks everyone for watching. Remember, if you want to see some decks, see us experiment, get some ideas from us, you're welcome to leave comments in the comment section and give us decks you want to see played. Give us ideas for decks. We will happily test stuff out. Yeah, and if you like the content we're making, subscribing to the channel really helps. Liking the videos really helps. All of that.
For sure.
And with that, we'll talk to you guys next time.
Bye, guys.